What's up guys, welcome back. I hope you're in the mood for seafood because today I'm showing you two different recipes for fried shrimp. We'll be making popcorn and coconut shrimp and you guys get to tell me which one you like the most. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that bell to enable notifications as well. And this episode is sponsored by Johnsonville. Johnsonville is among the most trusted brands in sauce. Since 1945, it's been a private company that's both family owned and operated out in the Midwest. They have dedicated themselves to providing great taste, innovative varieties, and quality by using premium cuts of meat in many of their products. One of my go-to snacks or quick lunches during my shoot days is a classic BLT sandwich. But today we're not making a BLT, we're making an SLT with these delicious sausage strips. They come pre-cooked, so you cook them the same way you would bacon, but it's not bacon, it's smoked sausage. These are great because they're high in protein, they shrink way less than bacon, there's absolutely no MSG, and they're totally delicious. They even won the Best New Breakfast Product Award this year in 2021. And I want you guys to give them a try. So head over to johnsonville.com/sausage strips to get more information and recipe ideas. I provided a link for you guys in the description box, and make sure you grab some during your next grocery store visit. All right, let's get this party started. One of my favorite dipping sauces for fried shrimp is cocktail sauce. We're going in with 1/2 cup of ketchup into a mixing bowl, followed by 2 tablespoons of horseradish, about a teaspoon or so of lemon juice, followed by a few dashes of your favorite hot sauce. Use whatever you got in the pantry, and a few dashes of worst word in the world sauce. There we go. Gotta season it a little bit. I'm going in with some all-purpose seasoning, but salt and pepper would work fine here as well. Break out the whisk and mix to combine until your sauce is smoother than a 3-day weekend. You want to taste as you go and adjust the flavor to your preference. I'm going to add a pinch or two of sugar to this just to balance the acidity and cut through some of that heat from the hot sauce and the horseradish. Once the flavor is right where you want it, we're going to pop that in the fridge until we need it later. And now we're moving on to the star of the show. These, my friends, are extra large shrimp. This is what we'll be using for the coconut shrimp recipe. We're going to go ahead and leave the tails on for this preparation. I know some people hate that, but for coconut shrimp, it kind of makes sense. To do that, you just want to pinch the tail to hold it in place. And then we're going to remove the shell from the rest of the shrimp. Repeat that process for all of the remaining shrimp that you plan to use for your coconut shrimp, and then I'm going to show you how to butterfly them. And lucky for us, these came already deveined, but you always want to check just to make sure that they did a good enough job. Make sure your shrimp are nice and clean. And now we're going to go ahead and butterfly these. So take a nice sharp knife, and you just want to make a nice gentle incision down the back of the shrimp, but don't cut all the way through it. And this is the perfect time to double check to make sure these are already deveined, or if you bought them before they were deveined, you can go ahead and remove the vein right now as well. And just repeat that process until all of your shrimp are peeled, deveined, clean, and butterflied. Next, it's time to season them up. I'm going down with a little salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, also known as my blend of all-purpose seasoning. If you haven't tried that yet, you can grab yours via the link in the description box. There's a discount code for you there as well. Otherwise, just use whatever seasoning you like on your shrimp. Once the shrimp are seasoned up, it's time to prep our breading station. So you're going to need 3 mixing bowls. In the first mixing bowl, we're going to add 1 to 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. In your second mixing bowl, you want to whisk together 2 to 3 eggs, depending on how many shrimp you're making. And in your third and final mixing bowl, we're going in with 1 cup of panko and 1 cup of shredded coconut. For a sweeter coconut shrimp, you can use the sweetened coconut flakes. I like to use the unsweetened though, because they do have a little bit of natural sweetness. As always, it's important to season as you go. That way you have layers of flavor in your shrimp. We're gonna go ahead and season the flour as well as the breadcrumbs. My all-purpose seasoning is low sodium, so I can go a little bit heavier on the seasoning. Just be mindful of that depending on which brand you're using. You don't want your shrimp to end up being too salty. So just taste as you go. You can taste your flour, taste your breadcrumb mixture, make sure that it's seasoned adequately and you're happy with it. Once it's just right, we're going to take the shrimp, go directly into the flour, make sure that it's well coated with no bald spots with that flour, and then from the flour directly into the egg wash. The egg wash here is important because it's going to help your breadcrumbs and coconut flakes really stick to the shrimp. So from the egg wash directly into that breadcrumb mixture, be really intentional about this and really press that mixture into the shrimp. That way it really sticks to the shrimp because we are making coconut shrimp here, so you got to have some coconut at the party. Then we're going to place it on a plate and let that hang out for a few minutes to really give time for that breading to adhere to the shrimp. That'll ensure you have a nice crust around your shrimp and they stay nice and crispy and juicy. Super important, don't skip that step. Moving on to our popcorn shrimp, we have another breading station set up. I hope the dishwasher is well rested at the house. We're going to go in with 1 cup of all-purpose flour followed by 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. To that, I'm gonna hit it with a little Tony's or whatever Cajun or Creole seasoning you like. You really can use whatever seasoning you like on your fried shrimp. I'm also gonna go in with some Old Bay because I live here in Chesapeake and Old Bay is part of the gospel. I'm also gonna add a little salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. I always recommend getting in there and tasting your flour with your fingertip just to make sure that you seasoned it properly. Otherwise, you're kind of just guessing. Get in there with a spoon or a fork or your hands and just mix all that seasoning into your flour. You want to make sure that this flour is adequately seasoned. For popcorn shrimp, you want a little bit smaller shrimp. So here we have some medium-sized shrimp that are peeled, deveined, and cleaned. We're going to season them up with a little salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Get in there with your hands and really work that seasoning into the shrimp. Make sure that they're adequately seasoned on all sides. And once those shrimp are seasoned to perfection, we're going to set up our second breading station. So we're going to take those seasoned shrimp, throw them right into that egg wash, drain off any excess egg wash, and then go directly into that seasoned flour. I like to use the 50-50 split of cornmeal and flour for my shrimp because it gives it some nice texture and color. So just make sure that they're well coated, and then again, we're going to place them on a plate to hang out to really let that breading adhere to the shrimp. Again, that makes a nice crispy shrimp, and that's what we're going for here. As always, guys, the specific measurements and ingredients are provided for you in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. Make sure you let me know in the comments which one of these recipes you plan to try first. Is it going to be the popcorn shrimp or the coconut shrimp? Cast your vote in the comments section. So just repeat that process until all of your shrimp are breaded, and then it's time to get our oil up to temperature. I'm just going into a shallow frying pan here. I like to use a wire rack to drain my shrimp once they're fried. We want the oil to hit 350 degrees internal temperature. Another cameo appearance for my digital food thermometer. If you don't have one, you can grab yours via the link in my description box. As soon as it hits 350 degrees, we're gonna drop those shrimp. Shrimp fry exceptionally fast, guys, so don't walk away from these. You wanna get in there with a spider or some tongs and move them around when you initially put them in the grease. That makes sure that they're not sticking to each other or sticking to the bottom. If they stick to the bottom of your fryer, they are gonna burn, so you do wanna make sure that's not happening. We didn't do all this hard work for nothing, right? They should cook up in about 3 to 4 minutes. Once they're golden brown and floating, or they hit 145 degrees internal temperature, you know that they're done. Say it with me, guys, looking good. Once the shrimp are fully cooked, we're gonna remove them from the oil and place them on that wire rack to drain. I prefer using this over a paper towel because the paper towel ends up getting soggy. And once the paper towel gets soggy, then guess what? Your shrimp end up soggy. We're frying these in batches. Anytime you fry in batches, guys, it's important to make sure that your grease comes back up to 350 degrees before you drop the second batch. These coconut shrimp are gonna take a little bit longer to cook because they are a little bit bigger, probably an extra minute or two. They're also gonna get a little bit darker in color because of the natural sugar from the coconut, so don't be alarmed if they get a little bit darker once you fry them up. Get in there with your spider again, move them around, make sure they're cooking evenly. Oh man, these are looking fantastic so far. Shrimp are done once they hit 145 degrees internal temperature. Doesn't matter if you're making extra large or medium, that's the internal temperature you're looking for. Coconut shrimp are underrated in my opinion, guys, but let me know what you think in the comments. Anytime you make one of these recipes, make sure you tag me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're on. I always love seeing you guys recreate these recipes. We're gonna go ahead and remove these coconut shrimp because they're now fully cooked. We're gonna add them to that wire rack to drain as well. Oh man, it's looking like a seafood feast on this wire rack right now. We got the popcorn shrimp, we got the coconut shrimp. It's time to plate this up and get in there for a taste test. I got the sweet chili sauce for the coconut shrimp. I got the cocktail sauce for the popcorn shrimp. I can't wait to get in here for a taste test. You guys know I gotta go down with a little fresh chopped parsley for a pop of color. And now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see what we got. Oh man, the popcorn shrimp are delicious. Let's get in there for a coconut shrimp, see what we got. Personally, the coconut shrimp's probably my favorite, but make sure you let me know what you think in the comments. And there you have it, folks. That's my recipe for fried shrimp. We showed you popcorn shrimp and coconut shrimp today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give your boy a thumbs up, hit that bell to enable notifications, and as always, thank you for your support.